Peace, family. It's the man OMNIETC, Omni, etc. Worry observations, righteous discussions unite people. It's the Word Up podcast. Let's jump on in. Folks, y'all see the video, y'all see the thumbnail, y'all already know what this is and what we're going to talk about today. But the title, I think when I drop this, I'm going to entitle this The Side Effects of Proximity. The side effects of proximity. Who you are is who you become, but also, even if you had no intentions of becoming that individual, that person can still affect you in numerous ways. It's really messed up. We got two messed up stories today. First of all, we all know about Young Thug and Gunna. I'm pretty sure y'all have heard of this. Young Thug, Gunna brought up on RICO charges. The problem is that they are, and I can't believe we in hip hop have not learned this lesson yet, but they are being indicted based upon their lyrics. Got slapped with RICO. I believe it was them and 26 other individuals. They got slapped with RICO charges, which means everybody getting locked up. So even if you had absolutely nothing to do with it, just being around certain individuals will draw certain things to you. Energy is very real. The laws of energy are very real. Energy leaves residues, there's residuals. And if you are around certain individuals, things rub off. The way that you talk, the way that you walk, the interactions you have. That's why I like being a recluse myself. I like being somewhat of a hermit. Even though I do some social things and I have social activities, mostly for monetary purposes. It is what it is. But I like being a recluse because I like knowing who I am as an individual. Before I deal with anybody, I have to deal with myself first. Who is Omni? Who is Omni, etc.? What is he on? What does he stand for? What does he stand against? What is he in opposition to merely because he stands on a certain side of things and he's not really trying to get involved with a certain type of character in order to in order to get the results that he was looking for. He knows that certain things will derail him from his objectives and goals. So with Young Thug and Gunna, I don't really want to speak on men's business. I'm really just talking about, I don't want to speak on anybody's business, honestly, but what I'm talking about is the mentality of, as we say, hashtag protect your energy king. Are we really about protecting your energy? Are we really talking about the thing that is actually best for us when we're out doing what it is that we do? Are we maneuvering through life with a purpose, or are we having an aimless existence? So, with that said, the lyrics is what's getting them caught up here. And it's a shame, really, because we should have learned this. They tried to get Tupac on lyrics. I mean, he's Young Thug. Tupac was about thug life. Thug was the term that was introduced to us, to hip-hop, by way of them calling black men thugs in the media so often. It was back, So, it's a real shame that we have this going on in this era. Because we should have learned back then that anything you say on the mic can get you caught up. So there's a way to say certain things, and you could be more clever with the way that you word things. You don't have to say exactly what it is in order to say what it is. because then things could be dismissed as hearsay and all of that. I'm not trying to tell you to get away with crime, but I'm saying if you're going to do crime, if you're going to, why speak on it? Why speak on it in such a plain English fashion? You should see some of the lyrics that are being brought up. I mean, they're talking about pure murder. I don't follow Young Thug. I don't follow Gunna. It's not my style of music. You know, I've jammed in the past to some of, Thugger's music. But the man I am today, I don't find anything of substance, anything that I can take away from it in order to improve my life. There's no actionable items there that I can implement to level up. So why would I? Because that's not the direction that I'm going in. And that's what this conversation is about. The side effects of proximity. So Gunna's getting arrested. Young Thug's locked up. I believe both Young Thug and Gunna are locked up without bond. There's no bond, so they're not getting out anytime soon. Excuse me. Before the trial. They're not getting out before the trial anytime soon. We'll see what happens. We'll see what actual evidence they have outside of, but RICO charges, I believe it's a federal case, and the feds have such a high conviction rate. The main reason why is because they get you to roll on each other. That's why the RICO Act is a thing. They want to lock up as many individuals associated with the main person that they're trying to get. They want to detain as many individuals so that they can interrogate as many individuals, because all it takes is for one person or a few people just pulling out one card from the house and everything falls apart. So it's a shame. We'll see what comes of this in weeks, but I don't really want to touch on that story too much, because that story don't really know. There's not really enough details to make an accurate assessment of what's going on, but it is clear that what they've said, their lyrics, and what they're saying on the microphone is what's getting them caught up now. So, with that said, to all my rappers that are still active in the streets, be very careful about what you speak. Okay? You don't have to go into great detail. We get it. We get it. You know what I'm saying? We want to, in this day and age, I want to hear about you living life, not doing dirt. Honestly, that's what I'm into more. I'm into you living life. I don't need the details of doing dirt. I need the details of what you got and how'd you get it. That's really all I'm into. That's all I'm into. As long as it's legal, I'm looking for the legal nuggets. You can keep the illegal stuff, fam. I'm good on that. I want the legal nuggets because I got legal money. And there's something very funny about legal money. It's far more legal money than there is illegal money. Whatever you want to say. Listen, the dope dealers need Negroes that work a 9 to 5. Anybody that's selling drugs, they need somebody with a paycheck. I promise you. So they look like they got a lot of money because it's tax-free and all of this, but there's far more legal money than there is illegal money out here, and I want every bit of it. So, moving on. When we talking about, there's a lot of boy-girl conversations going on in this day and age. The relationship conversation is huge, especially in the Black community. But what often doesn't get talked about is the effect that it has on children. OnlyFans is a platform that was initially intended for entrepreneurs, content creators, independent content creators to garner their audience, to have a place where the people that rock with them could just congregate and come on that platform. Akin to Patreon, However, Patreon didn't have it to where they could host videos and all of this. OnlyFans did. That's what OnlyFans was supposed to be. It's Patreon with essentially video hosting for people, for communities of people that are centered around content creators, so that the content creators can have all of their people in one place and charge them a monthly subscription for it, and charge them additional fees for content and all of this on top of it. So the people that are rocking with you and are actually, consistently rocking with you to the point where they're paying monthly subscriptions, y'all have a place to network and congregate, and it's a beautiful thing. What OnlyFans is known for is independent pornographic material. Amateur work, if you will. Now, you can see all types of content from just like, cell phone videos to highly produced porn content. And it's cool. But that's what the platform is most known for, because they allowed it due to having such lax terms of service. So nobody's actually violating the terms of service by having porn on the platform. They never said that they wouldn't allow porn on the platform, even though there was a whole fiasco last year. They said that, we're going to shut this down because we need, you know what I'm saying? It was an article in Variety. We're going to shut down all the pornographic material because we need to get investors, and investors want family-friendly content. And we're not known as a family-friendly company. So it is what it is. But the side effects of OnlyFans is when people have poor judgment and are not thinking long-term. We're going to get into a story here, and we're going to review this here in a second, where there was a child, kid, I believe 15, 16, confessing to a YouTuber that he rocks with on his Patreon. The kid rocks with this individual named Saluminati. I've just came across it off of this video that we're about to see. And let me go to the video. This guy, Saluminati. You can find this video on YouTube. Matter of fact, the link is going to be in the description. This gentleman, I'm gonna dial back the music a little bit so you can hear more of the video. But this gentleman here, he decided to share this mind-blowing story of a 16-year-old boy whose mother is an OnlyFans content creator. And it's not family-friendly content at all. Now, I've seen this video. I was blown away by it. I thought I should share on this podcast because it really goes to what the core issue is of what I'm talking about how people can affect those who are closest to them by their bad behavior. Let's go ahead. Let's get into it.
Story time. I know y'all ain't heard my voice in a minute. I want to get straight.
And I gotta say, fair use. It's fair use because it's transformative content. Matter of fact, I am going to change the playback speed. I'm gonna have them be a little bit faster, just to emphasize the transformative nature of this video. Okay, fair use. It's fair use. Let's go.
Straight to the point in this video. I have been on YouTube. I've just been on Spiritual. So this is a very important video. This shit happened today. This actually happened today. And I want to get straight to the point. I know y'all ain't heard my voice in a minute, but first thing first. What's good with y'all young boys? Hey, man. So listen. Dewey So in the building. Guys, sir. So For some of y'all that don't know, I just recently made a Patreon. I shouted it all on my spiritual channel. I haven't talked to y'all about it over here on Solominati. I basically made a Patreon so y'all would never have to wait 2-3 months for me to ever post again. I'm also gonna be live streaming on there, etc. I already talked about all this. One of the tiers that I have on my Patreon, you can do one-on-one meetings with me. You can do a one-on-one video meeting with me once or twice a month, depending on your situation, depending on if you really need help or not. I'm not looking for no fucking friends. You can't pay me to be my fucking friend, buddy. There's no money in the world you can give me for me to be cool with you. It's not possible. So the whole one-on-one meeting purpose is to help people. So this is tier 4, right? Shit costs $500. $500 to do a one-on-one meeting with me. People all around the world want to fly to talk to me. People want to do this. People want to do that. All you got to do is go to Patreon, right? So it's this one particular young guy who's going to see this video. He blocked me, which is why I'm dropping this video. Listen, I don't know your name. I don't know your mama name. It's this one particular guy who paid for a tier 4. So I supposed to have been doing a one-on-one meeting with him, but he hit me up and he said all he wanted is a birthday shout out. Because I also did a birthday shout out for one of my tier 4s too. And I told him like, man, let's link with
the ads. So we're gonna get back to it, but this is terrible. That first of all, where did the kid get the $500 from? You know what? We're not even gonna get into it. Probably got it from his mother doing OnlyFans. Is what it is. But let's get back to it. Sorry, pardon the interruption.
One meeting so I could chop it up with you for your birthday. I could be like, dude, get your money's worth. You just paid $500 just for me to shout you a birthday shout out. So I'm telling him, let's get, put your little fears to the side, little nigga. Let's hop in the meeting real quick. Let me chop it up with you. I'm trying to show him some love. You know what I'm saying? So he put his pride to the side, and I had sent him the Zoom link. Everything was perfect. It's all of this shit literally just happened like an hour ago. Literally. What time is it? It's 10:20 a.m. right now. All this shit happened like around 8:40 something, like 9 o'clock. So look, basically I sent him the link. So we ended up getting a Zoom meeting, and I guess like when you, dude, the first thing I noticed, he told me he was 16 years old, but he looked way older. He was 16 years old, nigga was smoking a cigarette, and he was with another guy, and it's his birthday. And I could read energy, so I'm asking him, dude, what's wrong with you? Like, I'm asking him what's bothering you and stuff, because we kicking it, and he asking me these questions. He talk about how much he loved my YouTube channel, how much he been watching my spiritual vids, how much I changed his life, and this and that. I'm reading.
And I'm gonna pause it for a second. I'm gonna leave the ad in here because I don't really rock with this content creator. Like, this is the first impression I have of this content creator. And let me play the video so you can understand where I'm coming from. I've already seen this. I apologize, but we're gonna break it down. But there's an aspect to this. Once you understand everything that he's about to say, you'll understand why I don't rock with this content creator, especially this being my first impression of him.
His energy, it's his birthday. The nigga look depressed. And you 16 years old smoking a cigarette, something not adding up. What the fuck have you been through in life? Right? So as we got to talking, I told him, like, dude, we can only be on here for about, 20, 30 minutes. I told him I got a limit. And I told him I'm still gonna shout give you a birthday shout out. But I told him straight up, if it's anything you want to get off your chest or me to help you with, tell me right now. Because once I'm gone, I'm gone. You get what I mean? Dude straight up put his pride to the side, and he kind of got a little emotional. And this coming from a young 16-year-old who had this like tough image on. He was smoking a cigarette. His nigga was right there. He kind of got a little emotional. Dude told me he been suicidal. This is no joke. He told me he been suicidal for the past 4 years. Right? He told me he been suicidal for the past 4 years. And one of the things I told him when he told me that, I told him you don't have to feel like embarrassed or something to tell me this, because I help people with this shit on a regular basis. Emails, etc. That's my whole point of making a Patreon, is to help you. And I told him, like, I could tell something is bothering you. And he did not, bro. It took me like 10 minutes for this nigga to literally open up and tell me why he was suicidal. So I want y'all to hear this real quick. I'm about to get straight to the core of what he told me. He said when he was in the 7th grade, he's been suicidal since the 7th, 8th grade. He is now 16 years old. He said he dropped out of middle school. When he was in the 7th grade, he ended up having a situation with a couple guys at his school. Now, it turns out his mom has an OnlyFans. His mom had him when she was 15 years old. 15 years later, I guess she was like, what, 20-something, 29, 30? She made an OnlyFans. He was in the 7th grade, right? So I want y'all to do the age difference. Right now, he's 16. I think his mama probably like 31, 32. No lie. I don't really know, but you can do the math yourself. He said when he was in the 7th grade, his mom made an OnlyFans. Now, y'all got to understand, they living in a social media age. Now, he said he already suffered from like porn stuff, like he been watching porn since he was little, etc. And he also said his mom and his dad split up for some reason, but he didn't really know till now. He basically said he found out that his mom was like doing that type shit by him watching porn and coming across his mom. He said this is how he found out. Now, this shit is weird. He even told me he built some type of fetish with just checking on his mom content to see what she's doing. Now, remember, I got to stomach all this in. I'm keeping my composure. I'm like.
So his mother does OnlyFans content. The man told you that he's suicidal. The young man told you that he's suicidal. You had an interaction that possibly didn't go the way that you thought it should have. And the first thing you decided to do was create, to use this as content for your channel. Monetize content for your channel. You decided to monetize this video. You decided to monetize this. I could kind of see if you were, you know what I'm saying, exposing how women are doing OnlyFans and not really caring about the children that they're affecting when they have children and all that. If you came at it from that angle, I understand it. But we just saw an ad on your video, bro. Why are you monetizing someone else's pain like this? Why are you monetizing? He confided in you and you're deciding to monetize this young man's pain. And we wonder why the code as black males or males in general is to not talk about our problems. This right here, because the moment we give it away to somebody, that's it. And if we're not of sound mind, of knowing what we're doing, like a teenager, a pre or post-pubescent teenager isn't of sound mind usually, because the hormones are flying and they're always in their feelings, then that's going to shape this experience. He looked up to you enough to pay you $500. I ain't paying your ass $500, nigga. I'm just no. You have to be a phenomenal individual for me to pay you $500 a month for your Patreon, and I'm taking advantage of everything your Patreon has to offer me for $500. And I confided in you. I was vulnerable. That kid was vulnerable to this adult black male. And the first thing, because at the beginning of the video, you said, okay, this just happened. We got to talk about it. But you're going to see why he's talking about it here, and he didn't continue on with the boy. But let's continue. Let's get back into it.
Dude, like, damn. So he basically told me in the 7th grade, it's these two guys that he never really got along with, but they was in the same class. He said one of the guys ended up finding out about his mom having like OnlyFans and being like a porn star. He said he found out because
pure Elden Ring.
Oh my God. You have multiple ads on the video. That's what pisses me off. You have all of these ads on this video. Boy, it's a wicked world. It's a wicked world out here. I promise, fam. You cannot make this up. He confided in this man. A young boy confided in a man that he looked up to, and that man decided to make it into content that he can monetize. Whew. That's a gut check. I bet you we see another ad before. I bet you we see and hear from our Spotify folks. I bet you there's gonna be another ad. I bet. Say bet. I bet there's gonna be another ad.
Porn star. He said he found out because his mom and his dad split up. So his mom still used to take him to school when he used to go into situations. Sometimes she used to have to go in there like to get him and all type of shit. He said he was basically never wanted to really be in position to show his mom off to nobody because he was embarrassed by the shit she do online. So he said this one particular time she ended up bringing him to school and she had to check him into school. And he said a few guys seen her. One of the particular guys was the dude that he didn't like. So he said one of these particular days, that's how he found out who his mom was, the guy. He said one of these particular days in class, he ended up getting into it with the guy. They ended up getting into it because he said they used to basically massacre him and like when he used the word massacre, I said that's tough. He said they used to massacre and hold that shit against him. They used to always make jokes about it. They used to play her audio out loud of her moaning, like some kitty childish shit. And he said he used to.
Bro, you cannot tell me that isn't different. You played audio of the man's mother. You played audio of this man's mother in school, moaning out loud. So on top of everything else, I got to deal with this shit in algebra. What? I got to deal with this shit in homeroom. You cannot, you can't. Lord, this is different. I'm sorry, folks. This is just different. This is too far out there for me. I'm an out there individual. This is too far out there for me. I couldn't imagine. This being the case. Like, how do you go to school? Hold on. Am I on the right one? Nah, I'm on the wrong network. See that? But I couldn't imagine. I couldn't even imagine that this is the case. Like, ooh. You up trying to solve for X, and behind your head, all you hearing is, and it's your mother. Loud as fuck. You know, back when I was in high school, they didn't even have Bluetooth speakers. Now kids got Bluetooth speakers, got joints that look like a whole desktop tower. You know what I'm saying? Bluetooth big as fuck. You cannot bruh, it's not funny. I'm smiling because I'm just picturing the level of ignorance. Because kids at that age do not understand how fucked up what they're doing is. But they take it there because they think it's funny. I'm laughing at the ignorance. I'm not laughing at the act. There's a difference. I'm laughing at how ignorant the kid that's doing this is. They don't understand how fucked up they are for doing something like that to someone. They just think it's funny. They get a laugh out of it. And that's as far as they have processed it in their mind. But to the person that it's happening to, oh my God. So let me rewind it back because that messed with me.
Him and like when he used the word massacre, I said that's tough. He said they used to massacre and hold that shit against him. They used to always make jokes about it. They used to play her audio out loud of her moaning.
Oh my God! For real, that's
like some kitty childish shit. And he said at first he used to stomach all this shit in,
but it's not kitty childish shit when you have adults doing adult things in the view of children. That's my whole point. Like when we have these male and female relationship talks, most people I know got kids. We never talk about how it's affecting the children. We're too busy worried about our own fucking genitals to ever consider how it's going to affect the children that are also going to be privy to what mommy and daddy are doing. Sir, your daughters are watching. Ma'am, your son is watching. We're not gonna learn this lesson. But
he said this one particular day he snapped, right? Now remember, only 2 boys knew. Nobody else knew. So this is what happened. He said one day they was teasing him. They was playing like the audio or like clips of his mom and shit. And he said they used to do this on a regular, not every day, but he said most of the time when they used to like get into it, tell jokes, they used to do this. So basically, he said this one particular time he ended up snapping and he ended up beating the boy up. Like this is 7th grade. He said he ended up beating the boy up and everybody knew about it. But the thing is, he ended up beating the guy up pretty bad. So the whole school ended up knowing why. He said they ended up finding out why he beat the boy up. So by him beating the boy up, the whole school knew his mama was a fucking thot. That's
hey man, do what you want with your life, but the kids are being affected by this. Go ahead. Let's continue. Shit.
That's why he beat the boy up, because the boy was showing off porn shit. Now the whole school found out. Right? Now, so listen, this is where it gets worse for this nigga. The whole school ended up finding out that his mama a hoe. Right? He still go to the school and he ended up getting...
We up to ad number 3. It's just in the corner. It's over there in the corner. Y'all can't see it, but I called it this time. We up to ad number 3 from this gentleman. On the same video. So he got like 4 or 5 ads on this one video, fam. I don't understand it. How can you monetize a child's pain like this? You know what I'm saying? How can you monetize a child's pain like this? This is what's turned me off of this individual in his entirety, is because he's taking money from it. And then something else that he did in his own story, by his own account, you're going to see what Illuminati did to this child. Like I have never paid a grown man as a kid. I've never paid a grown man $500 just to kick it with him. Just to get some shit off of my chest. I never had that type of... And the kid didn't even want to kick it with him or none of that. He just wanted a birthday shout out. He pushed the issue. Kid, what's going on? Acting like he really cared, but now it's just content. It's just content. All right. Let's get to it.
Guess who had to bring him back up to the school? Guess who had to bring him back up to the school to check him in? His mama. After his suspension, his dad, he said his dad left his mom because his mom was on that thot shit. He said now he know.
And the reason why the child is with the father, the reason why the child is with the mother instead of the father is because boys take up for their mothers, more likely than not. The love for a boy and his mother runs that deep, that regardless of what you do, he's going to take up for you. So now in his home, he doesn't have a responsible adult. So he went out to, let me drive this point home. He didn't have a responsible adult in the home whose judgment he could trust. So he went out and ventured out on YouTube, paid $500 for this YouTube content creator who pushed the issue and asked him if he was all right, made it seem like he cared about how he was feeling, because it was clear to him on some level that his mother doesn't care about how he feels. His own mother doesn't care about how what she's doing is affecting him. So he ventured out, found an adult, paid him $500. He just wanted a birthday shout out. The content creator said, hold on, little man. You paid $500 for this. Like, you sure you, look, let's do a Zoom call. Got on the Zoom call on his birthday, smoking cigarettes with his homie. He looks bummed the fuck out because his mama is on that thought shit. It's being a thought pocket. The YouTube content creator who he looks up to, which he has got to look up to this individual because he paid $500. I don't even know where he got it from, but he paid $500 to a grown man, someone who's older than him. That YouTube content creator that he looks up to pushed the issue, asked him what's wrong, made it seem like he cares about him. And now his story is out there for the masses as content. Let's continue. Monetized content. Let's continue. Boy.
So listen, after he got off of the suspension for a few days, his mom had to bring him up to the school. The whole entire school knew who his mom was by then. Now, this is the social media age. This was 4 years ago. So basically, they had the camera phones, they had the social media platforms, all that. Like, dude, you're fucked. Back then, if you missed a fight, you just missed it. You had to hear the stories. Now, it's always going to be online, somebody recording. So he's known for having a mom that's a porn star, right? So his mom bring him up to the school. He told me it was like crowds of men praising his mom. And deep down, I want to ask him, who the fuck is your mom? But how am I going to ask him this?
You're not. You're an adult man who knows better and should be somewhat aware of what that's going to do to him. Especially he looked up to you enough to pay you $500 as a 16-year-old child. They're not just handing out $500 to 16-year-old children like that. He had to do something for that money. Or he probably got it from his mother. I don't know. What I do know is this is a traumatic experience that this young man will never forget for the rest of his life. He probably altered the course of the direction of where his life is supposed to go by doing this to him. But go off.
I got to figure out a way to ask him. So listen, he said it was a crowd of young niggas praising his mom. He said they was all like, oh my God, such and such and such and this and that and this. He said it was one of the most embarrassing moments in his life. And he said when he looked at his mom liked it. She was smiling and laughing, and she didn't care how he felt.
And neither did you. Because I shouldn't have seen the story. Crazy.
She just loved the validation and attention.
But I do appreciate that this story is being exposed to a certain degree. So it's not all bad. I'm not going to make it seem like it's all bad, because I've often thought about, some of these females have children. Like, a lot of these strippers, streetwalkers, women of the evening, OnlyFans content creators, they have children. And I've been curious about what effects does that have on the children? Suicide. Kid said he was suicidal. Probably attempted.
She was getting from kids. This is what he said. He said his mom didn't care that he was getting teased and all that. His mom didn't look at it like a bad thing at all. And this is what you got to understand. How many kids are suffering from this right now with their mom online getting fucked?
And she can't think about it because this is her bread and butter. It's the only thing that she does that brings in income. So she can't deny her fandom. She can't be that stuck up. She can't be that stuck up thought. She can't be that stuck up hoe. Ain't nothing worse than a stuck up hoe. She can't be stuck up because by trade, she's got to give people what they want. When you're an entertainer, can't be stuck up. I mean, you can if you're at a certain level of success and you already got the bag, then it's like, fuck it. But you can't do that if you're building an audience or if you're becoming well known. She's securing her fan base, if anything. She's securing her fan base for years to come. It's fucked up, but that meant more to her. That meant more to her than her son's mental well-being. Or how he's perceived socially.
Right? So he said his mom didn't care at all. He said he literally had to finish that whole entire school year out at that school, skipping school, his grades was fucked up, and he said he was suicidal. He said when the 8th grade came, he completely stopped going to school and he used to just like go to his grandma's house. He said his grandma is not really stable, etc. He said his mama ended up almost getting locked up because he stopped going to school. So they start reporting why your kid is not going to school, etc. Basically, in the 8th grade, he ended up moving with his grandma. His mama didn't have full custody over him no more or something because of his school situation. And his grandma is old, so she don't really keep an eye on him. Clearly, the nigga smoked cigarettes at 16. So he said in the 8th grade, he literally stopped going to school. And fast forward till right now, he said basically he has some type of program. They're trying to help him get like his GED or graduate.
It wasn't
Is another one? There was another one, family. That's crazy. Another, So, yeah, I said it was going to be like 4 or 5. I did. I said it was going to be like 4 or 5 ads. I'm keeping the ads in the edit just because we want to see how many ads were ran. Let you know that this wasn't about, this was like this kid, if he ever saw this video. Luckily, he didn't say his name, so I'll give Soul credit on that. Soul didn't say his name, so I'll give him credit on that. But the fact that you telling the story and asking the kid who his mama is, you out of pocket. However, this is a story that needs to be told, so I'm kind of on the fence now on should he have told this story or should he have not? Because if he didn't tell this story, it wouldn't be tangible to people. People would just have to think about it, but not really bring it to the forefront of the conversation. So I give him credit on that. I'll give him credit on that. This wouldn't be at the forefront of the conversation if he didn't bring it to the forefront of the conversation. So I'll give him credit there. Let's continue. Oh, muted it for that ad. Boy, I hate these ads.
Right now, he said basically he has some type of program. They're trying to help him get like his GED or graduate, but it's not school. It's like some, y'all know like the kids that be like extremely bad or that barely go to class. They always got like programs for them to like make up for their grades and the classes that they miss and Job Corps, all this different stuff. This is what he said he's in right now, right? So after him telling me this entire story about everything that happened at his school, as far as his mom being a porn star, etc., I asked him straight up. I said, dude, who's your mom?
Out of pocket. Hold on, where's my? He asked, let's run it back.
I asked him straight up. I said, dude, who's your mom?
Oh my God. Out of pocket. Out of pocket. Out of pocket. Let's get through this. Let's get through. We got a little bit of video left. Let's get through this.
Like after he broke down and told me this, that's all I asked, bro. Who's your mom? That's all I said. Who's your mom? Like, dude, I'm not trying to look her up to Jack. I already probably jacked off to the bitch in the past. I'm not trying to do nothing. Who's your mom? I might just hit her up and tell her what she did. How she's affecting you. Right now, she's still doing that in her 30s. When I asked him who's his mom, he blocked me. The nigga don't exist on my Patreon no more. He's gone. I don't know what happened to him. And this video is for awareness purposes. I'm not making fun of him. I ain't saying no names. I don't even know who he is or his mom is. I just know he was suicidal and dropped out of school in middle school. Literally, he dropped out in the 8th grade. Stopped going to school because of his mom. His dad left him because of his mom. Now he live with his grandma. His grandma too old to really keep an eye on him. Y'all know these grandmas, grandparents, they like bailouts for us. Especially niggas who's fucking up in school and bad. You could just always go to your grandma's house. I can't imagine what the fuck he went through, but this is one of the worst stories I have ever heard. And you have to understand right now, all y'all women, like y'all have to understand, if your kid is at the age of 8 and up, he knows that you doing porn. Dude, the porn shit start at like 10, 11. Before that, they know who you are. These young niggas look at porn stars as goddesses. They don't know no better. They don't know that what they doing and jacking off all this shit is destroying this shit is destroying their confidence. This shit is leading them to the wrong path. It's leading them to be like weak men and suicidal. The bottom line, what I want to say in this video, all y'all women out there, y'all have to understand. Most of y'all who sell y'all body, a nigga would never take you serious unless sex is involved. Other than that, you are completely useless. If once men wake up and understand that these bitches, these type hoes is not needed at all, Once these men start understanding, bro, if I'm not even having sex with this bitch is completely useless to my life. Y'all need to really start seeing this shit. Most of these girls are just sexual demons. They succubus, they Jezebel spirits. Y'all need to tap in. Most of these women give zero fucks about anybody. Or you don't even have to be faithful to these new type of women. They just want validation. My man's was suicidal, getting teased. They praising his mama for being a thot. His mama is smiling and feeling good from that attention she getting from little kids. Understand that majority of these little kids, the nigga 16 years old and paid $500. I'm trying to figure out who he get that money from. These little niggas be having bread. I don't know where y'all be getting y'all money from, but they be subscribed to OnlyFans, all that. They be little kids. I don't know how. They be on Reddit. But to make a long story short, y'all women, y'all time will come. It's gonna come upon a time your kid will despise you. He will hate you. She will hate you for everything you've done to them. Their childhood trauma is from you. Their life would have been perfectly fine if your ass never was doing that thot shit. Now do what you do, my baby. But I want you to know, y'all are losing y'all kids. Next thing you know, it's gonna be grandmas that's literally 35. You about to have 35, 30-year-old grandmas. How is that even possible? Dude, these bitches in these days is about to be the grandmas. Dude, it's over for the youth.
It's a fact. He's spitting facts. Okay, so I couldn't get through the video initially because this was turning my stomach so bad. So I didn't see it all the way through. So he redeemed himself at the end of this. He did. He redeemed himself at the end of this. I fuck with the fact that he redeemed himself at the end of this. But it's sickening what society has come to. Like, how in the hell do you think that if you have kids, that type of activity should be out for you? But it's all you know because you're not educated, or, you know what I'm saying, is what you've been doing so long, so you just stuck in the way, what have you. Or it just feels good to do it, so you're just indulging in the good feeling and saying, fuck them kids. Man, like, if we could just like turn people's genitals on based off of their level of competency and level of self-respect and dignity. You know what I'm saying? When I say turn people's genitals off, I mean like activate them for procreation or deactivate for procreation. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a right to become a parent, but then but then by their actions, they prove that they don't deserve the privilege of becoming a parent. Because actually, the people that you know what I'm saying, do procreate, they're privileged. Certain people don't have the ability to procreate. So they're privileged individuals. Really, if you really want to break it down, they're privileged individuals. Like, most men are going to die without procreating, without being able to procreate. Women can procreate, but some women can't procreate. Some women are born without uteruses and things of that nature. So it's just the level of irresponsibility is always appalling to me. The level of irresponsibility is so appalling to me. I don't understand it. And I likely never will. All right, so with that said, get with me in the comments of this video. Wary observations, righteous discussions, unite people. It's the Word Up Podcast, and I've been your host, OMNIETC. I'm out.